circulating on the internet, sometimes for over a decade. For the majority of these claims, I simply don't wish to rehash every single wild claim or baseless accusation someone throws my way, especially when they're demanding I divulge even more personal information to do so. And, more importantly, I shouldn't be forced to provide that level of personal access to my life. I've already had my privacy violated in the most extreme and disgusting ways over the past few months, and I don't enjoy having every single private interaction I've had held up under a microscope for the internet to psychoanalyze. I do, however, feel compelled to provide a bit of backstory to my audience for you to have a bit of an understanding of everything that's transpired over the last few years relating to this incident, if for no other reason than to dispel at least the worst assumptions that some people have made about me, even within my own community. If you're unhappy with the level of personal details, or if you wish for me to divulge more about person ABC or situation XYZ, I don't care. You can simply leave. This isn't to say that I won't address other things in the future. I probably will, but one piece at a time, okay? Why wait so long? I'm sympathetic to people who view me negatively, even in the worst light, because it seems difficult to imagine why I would stay silent on everything that's been said about the situation so far. There are 3 reasons for the delay in transparency. The first was minimizing exposure to revenge porn. A great deal of explicit content of mine had been published on Kiwi Farms, including incredibly personal communications of mine. Giving this any kind of public attention is obviously a massive victory for vulture communities as well as the leaker, and a massive loss for the privacy of myself and any of the other victims involved. It's irritating that, because I'm a man, the expectation is that any explicit material of mine leaked for sexually humiliating purposes is just expected to be laughed at by me while being made into a joke by every community on the internet, including my own. Whether that includes those maliciously lying about our hookups for purposes of public humiliation, or selectively publishing explicit leaked material online, all of it is incredibly disgusting and invasive, doubly so when I've been expected to just roll with it. It's incredibly bizarre how many people are fixated on insisting that I'm not a victim in this when I was the primary target of the entire revenge porn posting. While other people were undeniably harmed by these leaks, they were seen as collateral damage to the publisher of the material and the website providing hosting for it in the goal to attack me, whether it was through reputation, monetary harm, or just some other form of sadistic humiliation. The second point is Pixie's privacy request. Once the leaker published and hosted all of my explicit content on Kiwi Farms, Pixie messaged me and informed me that she didn't want confirmation of her in any part of the material. She said, I'm 100% denying it's me, by the way, since it's not super clear my face or anything like that. I haven't told other personal people in my life about it. This is me talking, basically, if you have any specific requests about like removing anything, and then it's just her saying, I don't want to testify or be named in anything. As far as people asking me, I'm just saying it's a lookalike. Don't tell anyone privately either if it's me or not, basically. Pixie messaged me and informed me that she didn't want confirmation of her in any part of the material. As such, I made no public statements regarding her appearance in any of the leaked material. She has since filed a public lawsuit, which is why I feel comfortable speaking out now. All of our conversations until December 10th were almost exclusively about contacting law firms, removing any explicit material online, and minimizing her risk and exposure to any online abuse or harassment. Pre-trial settlement, the third reason. The vast majority of cases are settled. I Googled, there's a lot of numbers, it's all 90% plus. Before they ever go to trial, and the vast majority of them before they aren't even filed in court at all. One of the big reasons why lawyers encourage their clients not to discuss their case publicly, especially before it's been filed, is because you lose a lot of leverage that you might have otherwise when it comes to negotiating a deal with the opposing party. If this seems confusing or unintuitive, that's fine. Just keep it in the back of your mind because it will become much clearer later on as I explain this. Events. In April of 2022, I was contacted by Rose. We maintained an amicable friendship up through 2023. We never had any fights or disagreements about anything. We were always on good terms with one another. In November of 2024, so I was clearing out my Discord friends list of people I no longer speak with. I noticed the account was still added, and we hadn't spoken in a while. So I sent a message to it, checking in to see how she was doing. I have strong reason to believe that at the time I did that, someone besides Rose was logged into the account, scrolled up to see all of the messages we'd exchanged, and took steps to protect their identity so they could dump all of the materials they'd found in our messages to various Discord servers and eventually Kiwi Farms. The leaks. On November 20th, future posting. Whoops. On November 20th, 2024, the Discord user Solo began to leak huge swaths of personal messages between me and another person across several Discord chat rooms. President Sunday was sent these messages and decided to do a dramatic reading of them for his YouTube channel. Several days after he and other parts of the internet had had their fun exploiting leaked material from my personal life, Solo messaged me sometime in the morning and said that he was unhappy with how the coverage of the leaks had been so far. He felt as though people weren't giving it enough attention, so he was going to leak more from my logs with Rose if I didn't allow him to come on my stream and speak with me. I don't exactly remember what the message to me was, as I just woken up, read it, and then responded briefly before going back to sleep. The next time I checked my messages with him, everything had been deleted. On that same day, November 29th, 2024, Solo dumped every explicit video I'd ever exchanged with Rose onto Kiwi Farms. One of these videos allegedly showed Pixie and I engaged in a sexual act, and she subsequently messaged me and informed me of the leak. When Pixie posted on her Substack that she had to contact me about the situation first, this was the first time I was actually even made aware that explicit material of me involving others was being posted on Kiwi Farms. I think she puts this in here, note, I had to contact him asking about the situation before he sent me this message. I think I was in the shower when I got this DM and I didn't even realize it had been posted, but okay. Time passes. I contacted a law firm in New York and began to pursue legal action relating to the revenge porn incident. Pixie made it clear that she did not want to be identified in any way in these leaks, and it's just retweeting the same messages. I agreed, and I spoke nothing at all of it publicly and continued to work and stream while pursuing my legal cases in the background. All of my communications with Pixie over the next week pertained to removal of the material and pursuing actions against the leaker. I think I just selectively went through some of these, but basically it's just me, how to report comments, link me stuff if you want it removed, her asking me about updates on the law firm, asking me about updates about getting it removed from Kiwi Farm, stuff like this. Basically, it's all of our communications. Escalation. On December 11th, two strange things happened. Lauren Hayden, someone I hadn't had contact with for months, messaged me to tell me how much she hated me. On December 11th, what you did was evil. I have never hated anyone so much. That same day, just a few hours earlier, Pixie messaged me, informing me that she was planning on committing suicide in some manner in which she would expose me after taking her own life. Her message to me was, "Hi, Stephen. As my life on this earth comes to a close, I want to ask you to please be more careful with the people who place their trust in you in the future. Life is unfair, but you should do your best in preventing that, not contributing to it." I said, "Hold up there. What's up?" I wasn't actually sure if this was a super serious message or not because I'd never seen anything like this before from her, but "I'm just tired of living anymore. It's a matter of time until my family discovers what happened, and I feel like there is no way to obtain justice. I don't want to bring a case against you, but I think you'll continue to send nudes to people even without their consent. Bringing a case against you would mean going public, which is the equivalent of a death sentence for me either way. So I feel like the best thing to do is for me to kill myself and schedule a post just detailing my feelings on what happened to try to ensure a situation like this doesn't happen again. I'm not going to kill myself at this second. I'm trying to get some things in order before I end everything. But I don't see a future where I survive for much longer. It's better to end things sooner than later and stop the pain than to let it continue." Up until this point, all of our conversations had been almost exclusively focused on removing any material of her on her behalf and updating her on any legal progress, so these messages were very out of character. As a brief aside, Lauren Hayden is someone who's had bitter feelings towards me after we refused to date her about a year ago. She lies constantly, claiming that we dated, sometimes for as long as 9 months. I don't know why she keeps posting stuff like this. Aren't you grossed out by the fact you got smashed by Quimmer, Gremlin, Destiny? How does it feel to get dumped by the little midget? Nope. Willingly did it for 9 months of dating him. Breakups happen. Did people forget this? Broad was begging, blah, blah, blah. We dated for 9 months, and he took our conversations out of context when I broke up with him. You can believe a liar if you wish. I don't know why. Oh, I'm sorry. I do know why she's... if this was last year, she's doing this because if Lauren is involved in something personally, she cannot help but constantly talk about it publicly as well. You can always tell what Lauren is up to in her personal life based on who she's tweeting at, because that's just the kind of person she is. And I guess her DMing me as well. I've already posted evidence of this in the past. I think that tweet even included like a video that I'd done on this. I've already posted evidence of this past. Here's an additional conversation I had with a mutual friend last year to put that claim to rest. Lauren came to a hotel room where me and another streamer person were having a conversation basically about her. And then she was very sad, I guess, that we weren't dating, and we were trying to figure out like what was like the gentlest way to deal with her. But this is that conversation, I guess, and she keeps saying that we were dating. This is that person saying, was I too aggressive with Lauren? LOL, I don't care about you. Oh, that's sweet. I don't think so. I'm really glad she brought up some far stuff in front of you, though, with me in the room, so I could clearly demonstrate that she twists stuff like crazy regarding her. Just demonstrating that Lauren fucking lies about everything in person when she's upset. This is just basically a conversation about how kind of like, I don't want to say, but no, I will actually say it, about how pathetic Lauren's situation was. She was like becoming fairly obsessive with me since I'd broken up with Melina, and then had decided that she was going to try to date me. And then when I gave her a firm no, it was like, and basically she went nuclear at that point. And yeah, it's just, we were all silent when she said that in the car. Oh yeah, because she was talking to 2 streamer people. I don't know if I'll give their names. If she wants to deny this, I can invoke those people and they can say something publicly about it. But anyway, just that's our history, I guess. Since threats of suicide from Pixie were now involved, I reached out to a mutual friend, Aaron. Okay, yeah, I have no clue what to say or do. How much did she tell you? And then I pasted our conversation. And she says, I'm surprised she told you. To be honest, she didn't respond to this, or did she delete it? No, if she responded and deleted, I didn't see, but I'm pretty sure she just didn't respond. She's not doing well, and she had made all the wrong moves in response to this. I told her to do nothing and not reply to people. I said, I don't think she's done anything too bad or anything, like just privating her stuff for a bit was fine. She said, people have sent me stuff that she said to them in DMs. She's denying it in private and DMing people to stop talking about it because it's not her. I said, oh, well, I mean, if it's helping her process stuff or whatever, it's okay, unless she's just blowing it up or making it worse or something. She said, Aaron says, she went into spicy chat and said their comments make her want to kill herself a few days ago. She had told me she would do it if her parents found out because I suggested reaching out to family members that could be trusted to give her emotional support, but she's not really talking to people. Loner messaged me asking if I'd heard from her because she hasn't been messaging. I responded to the comment about spicy chat and I said, that is bad. Yeah. Then I messaged her tonight and she said, then I messaged her tonight and that's when she said she thinks that's what she needs to do. I said, well, fuck, I feel like going over there or asking her to just hang out for obvious reasons. I feel stupid going over there or asking her to hang out for obvious reasons, but I don't really know what else I can do or if I'm even a person who can offer support. Aaron says, I don't know how she views you. When she told me, I wondered if I should tell you and ask you for help. But if she sees you as an abuser, then it seems like the ultimate betrayal to do that. Same with telling her family, blah, blah, blah. This is basically just like, I'm just trying to figure out like, okay, well, is there anything I can do to help? You need to calm the fuck down. Why? Stop. Ooh. Okay, whatever. I have no clue what I can rectify. These are actions I'm taking legally. And then Aaron says, this is pure speculation, but I wonder if she was seeing if you'd even reply or if you'd go silent when she sent me that one message, the suicide one. My understanding at the time was that Aaron was an incredibly close friend of Pixie and so sought her advice on what I could do to help. I spoke with Aaron while the both of us tried to console Pixie. Aaron eventually suggested, approving the exact message even, that I offer her money to help cover at least her therapy or perhaps even payments towards law school. Yeah, maybe not. I don't know what else to do. Money, or dollar signs. I fucking offer to cover her therapy or some shit. I don't know her employment situation, but I don't think it's good. You really think so? LOL, I have zero problem with that. I thought about it, but it feels super ultra scummy, or like I'm just trying to buy off her feeling bad or something, but obviously 1,000,000%, I would absolutely do this. Yes, I really think so, LOL. She mentioned pursuing a case against you in that first screenshot you sent me, and this isn't a crime that's punishable jail as far as I know. So unless she thought it did, or some other punitive measure she felt would deter you, I'm going to assume she was considering doing it for financial damages. I asked her what was an appropriate way of approaching her about it, and she said being honest and front-loading it with genuinely not being able to rectify it neutrally because of the obvious conflict of interest, but you'd like to try, and that it's something you do if it would help her. Therapy costs for sure. If you're really feeling generous, something to do with her law school pursuits, like year one or something. I don't know how far you're willing to help, but I see it as offering her something to look forward to in her immediate future. That is a goal she was working towards in the midst of all this, and it would be a reminder that her life isn't over because of this, not even close. And I said, what law school was she looking to go to? Is money the only thing stopping her from going or something? I'm not sure, but she owes me $147 and is having to pay it back to me in installments because she can't afford the payments all at once. So I'm pretty sure there are hefty financial constraints for her right now. Wait, hold on. $147. Yeah, because when I moved, blah, blah, blah. And this is just basically on her financial situation. And then I post this message here to her. This was super lame, and I don't want to imply that somehow just giving you money helps anything go away or fixes everything for you. But if you have any bills or owe money or anything or have any financial stuff I can help with, I can at the very least chip in and help you with any of that. So it's at least one less thing you have to worry about or stress over while you're worrying and getting through this. Sorry. Do you think this is okay? Yes, I think it would only be skeevy to do this if you're like, can I give you money so you don't take legal action against me? Please, thank you, smiley face. Maybe, yeah. Okay. Erin eventually suggested approving the exact message, even that I offer her money to help cover at least her therapy or perhaps even payments towards law school. After sending the message, Erin approved to Pixie. Pixie rejected it in what I thought was an odd manner. So this was me sending the message to her. She replies, it's more complicated than that. I feel like there's no justice for what's been done. I feel like people for the rest of my life are going to try to send it to my family or workplace or wherever I go. I feel extremely violated with how so many people saw me non-consensually in a vulnerable position. I feel like people are always going to use this as proof that I slept my way into whatever achievement I garner. I feel like it's evidence that everything would be better with me gone. And then she replied to my specific suggestion with, I feel like whatever I ask you to cover will be too high a price too, and then I'm going to feel even worse over it. And then the rest is me, I think, just kind of consoling her. She said that whatever amount she'd ask for would likely be too high, despite me not yet mentioning a dollar amount. At this point, I noticed her language was also taking a sharply pointed and more deliberate tone, with words like justice, non-consensual, and vulnerable showing up for the first time in our messages almost 2 weeks out from when the original leaks actually happened. I was trying to walk an impossibly fine line with my conversations with Pixie, balancing a few key things. I was concerned for her well-being and mental health, but I wasn't sure what she was getting at with her claim of me not giving her as much money as she'd want. I was also trying to comfort her in regards to the leaks without downplaying or minimizing what she was feeling, a concern I communicated with Erin at the time. I want to send Pixie this thread and tell her that there are tons of people talking homophobically, and a few that mention Lauren, but none mentioning her, but I don't know if this comes off as me minimizing her complaints or not, lol. If you could minimize it, that would be good actually, then she wouldn't think about it as much. Erin informed me that Pixie was settling on a figure, hinting that she would ask me to pay for her law school tuition. Notably, no actual figure was ever sent to me for consideration. Erin messaging Pixie, how are you feeling this morning? I feel better. I feel somber, but not suicidal right now. That's good. Well, not good. I'm sorry you're still somber, of course, but an improvement. Did you reply to Steven? Yeah, we got into an argument back and forth on why I shouldn't kill myself. I haven't replied to his last message or asked him to cover my tuition. I don't think he would do that if I asked him. LOL, okay, I need to think on that. Like, entire tuition for law school is like $200K, X face. I told her to make the request, and y'all can negotiate from there. I don't know what law school she wants to go to. If it's like Harvard, then yeah, the whole thing being covered is probably not happening. If it's a state school in Florida, that's another story. First, she needs to actually apply and get in. That will give you time to think about the amount as well. I said, okay, we'll keep in mind. On the same day that she was expressing her thoughts of suicidality to me, she began to aggressively fight with trolls online about subject matter that seemed to be begging for people to bring attention to the recently leaked material. On that same day, December 12th, why do people think the woman body is automatically sexual? Why is it considered morally higher to be covered up? Why does other people sexualizing me makes my body a moral dilemma? Even Erin agreed that this was a crazy Twitter battle to engage in at the time, and it seemed especially strange given that Pixie told me 8 hours earlier that she was still receiving DMs related to the leaks, was petrified of her parents finding out what had happened, and would kill herself if it ever got that far. Bro, why fight about this today of all days? She's so brave. Yeah, I don't know if brave is the right word. These were her messages to me earlier. I feel like part of the reason why I'm still freaked out about it is because it's been 2 weeks and I still have people commenting on my socials and DMs about it. I feel like Andrew and his fan base as well have some other psychos hate me for being a woman who disagrees with them, and that they'll use it during any opportunity they can to cause harm to me. But maybe I'm wrong. And then this is just us going back and forth over don't kill yourself, basically. And then that she'll never have a job again. You don't think it's realistic that someone might fire me over this, that I might lose whatever future career I work in because the office passed around my sex tape? I was now in an impossible position. Hold on. I was now in an impossible position. A revenge point of me was still being blasted across the internet with family members, including my 13-year-old son, being spammed with explicit videos of me, sometimes even by popular social media personalities like Just a Minx. I love that. I guess it's because I'm a guy at school. I'm trying to get better, but the image of Destiny sucking that cock is ruining it. Based. And then this is just her casually, replying to tweets of mine. It's good. Getting some good Twitter engagement here. Not that anybody gives a fuck because she's a girl and I'm a guy, but it's all good. That she has a 1.4 million follower account and it didn't matter, but all right. Multiple large social media accounts were covering it, with Kiwi Farms bragging in a tweet that a surge of visitors consuming the revenge porn of me required a database rollback. And now, on top of everything, Pixie was coupling threats of suicide and a public note with an implied request for hundreds of thousands of dollars from me to make things right for her. The surge of traffic to the Kiwi Farms related to Destiny's blowjob video has caused a fatal database error, and I will need to do a rollback to a recent backup. No contact. At some point after our conversation on the 12th of December, Pixie removed me as a friend from Discord. From that point onwards, a small bit of communication happened between two mutual friends. One of them communicated with me that Pixie needed me to suffer in order for me to understand that I'd committed a wrong, as though I hadn't already suffered enormously due to the explosive coverage that already existed of my leaked material. They said to Pixie, if you ever wanted someone to suffer or be dead, my first instinct is to say no, but I feel like an unfortunate byproduct of getting justice from Steven would result in some level of suffering, so I guess the answer is yes. Are you wanting him to suffer, or do you want justice there? I want justice. If I could have justice without the suffering, that would be optimal, but I'm just not sure if possible. She also communicated to a friend that she was essentially ready and waiting to kill herself based on whether or not I responded favorably to paying out a massive amount of money. I think I'm going to decide my next course of action of what to do with myself and him based on how that conversation goes, a conversation my friend was going to have with me. Unless if you decide you don't want to talk to him, that's okay too. Basically, I have my plans / course of action paused, and will choose something depending on if he agrees that he has to make up / repent for the action and wants to work with me to find a way to do that, or if he doesn't feel that way. I don't want to talk to him myself because I feel like I tried explaining what I was feeling and he didn't really understand. I also have a little anxious voice in my brain telling me to prepare for the worst because he probably won't care or doesn't care enough to willingly try to make up for his mistakes, and that means I'll have to start thinking of more extreme / nuclear options to deal with, but I'm trying to avoid spiraling down that line of thought because I'm trying to hold out for hope. And just not to scare you, I'm 100% not going to do anything to myself, no matter what he says during the holiday season, because I don't want to traumatize my friends during a time that's supposed to be happy. And even if he responds negatively, it doesn't mean I'll auto-kill myself. I'm trying to contemplate all different courses of actions, including going public, and then, if I can't take the amount of humiliation, then killing myself, versus my plan before of scheduling a note for after I die. I'm still also looking into lawyers, but I just want to see what he says before deciding to do any nuclear option. Can I share this with Steven? He communicated to me that he knows he fucked up. There is no excuse at all. He doesn't know what he can do to make it up for you. I'm trying to bridge between help, blah, blah, blah. Can I share this with him? You can share this with him, or you can share this in anything you want with him. I feel like when we talked, you really understood where I was coming from and can hopefully explain this better than I can. She reiterated that I needed to face consequences for my actions, claiming that she was on a mission to make this the most expensive mistake of my life, again, despite the insane amount of harassment I had already received regarding the leaked material. My friend had listed out, what is it exactly that you want? Yeah, because the only problem is number 3, because even with removal of the video and getting the guy hacked charged, Steven has to face consequences proportional to his actions. I want this to be the most expensive mistake of his life, and I'm essentially asking him to self-punish himself in a way I don't think he will like or agree to without the law involved. I don't have a dollar amount from the top of my head. It just has to be enough that for the rest of his life, if he thinks of the word nude, he associates it with the amount of money he lost. Obviously, I don't want to make him destitute, but it should be large enough that he does feel upset about it and is not easily recoverable. She said that I had offered to simply pay some bills, possibly to the tune of $200, though I had absolutely no idea where she ever got that figure from. Yeah, honestly, I feel comfortable sending him these messages and asking him, what does he think this would look like if you're telling me of that he is comfortable with the idea of proportional penance and how that would look like. I just feel like he didn't understand when he said he would pay some bills for me, because it makes me feel like he's telling me, oh, I'm sorry that happened. Here's $200. Hope you feel better, which I think really underestimates the gravity of the situation, to put it lightly, and somehow makes me feel like a cheap prostitute, or it makes me feel like that's how severe he perceives his actions to be, LOL. After assurances from my friend that I was willing to pay a lot more than she had originally thought, she informed me that she was finally ready to reach out to me, using this conversation as a starting point. I think he was worried you would feel he's paying for your silence, but did want to help, but didn't want to overstep. I think he's offering a lot more than how you read it, but I totally understand why you read it that way. Okay, that makes me feel a lot better. I think I'm ready to reach out to him, using this conversation as a starting point, if you're okay with that. Like, I'll send him the conversation/texts so he can see where I'm coming from. Sure, but what I would outline isn't a clear ask, but a question of what you feel you need from him and what he's willing to give. Yeah, that makes sense. I really hope we can figure out a compromise and what works for both of us. At this point, mutual friends tell me that she's expecting between $500,000 to $1 million as just compensation for her suffering, though I hadn't seen that in writing anywhere yet. At this point, I felt incredibly uncomfortable establishing any direct contact. Threats of suicide, paired with requests for huge sums of money that seemed to hinge directly on whether or not I was willing to self-punish enough, paired with threats to expose me publicly if I wasn't willing to make the right choice, left me in a very rough position. I was still dealing with the mountains of harassment my family and I were receiving, 5-figure legal fees in my pursuit against the original leaker, and now I was facing a decision about whether or not I needed to fork over some huge sum of money to prevent someone from either killing themselves or exposing me to the public. D-Day. On January 20th, 2025, while flying back from the studio in New York, I was notified that 2 videos were going live that seemed to be centered on recent events. A video titled Destiny, Predator Unmasked by Coben Seeth, and Exposing the Destiny Abuse Machine by President Sunday. Both of these videos included a multitude of messages between different parties behind the scenes that I was totally unaware were coordinating with each other. In addition to these 2 videos, Pixie dropped her Substack statement about me. Lauren Hayden launched a Give, Send, Go for Pixie in order to raise funds to sue me, and other members of the Anti-Fan Discord made claims about me, sharing material on Twitter. All of these events happened within 12 hours of each other. Basically, every internet friend I had publicly denounced me. Other streamers and YouTubers responded almost instantly to cover the statements, and a slew of videos went up with a variety of claims about me, the worst of them heavily implying I was a rapist. All of this also refreshed the attention on all of the leaked material, mine and Pixie's included, and brought awareness of it to a much, much wider audience than ever before, leading to an exponential increase of harassment across every social media platform I'm on. Lav, someone who proudly spread revenge porn of me in the past and admitted to it, how dare I want the person who made my life hell for a year want to be humiliated? What the heck is wrong with me? It was advantageous for that to be leaked publicly, but it never was. This is in regards to something that happened like 6 months ago, where supposedly some material of mine had leaked onto a Discord server. I didn't want to get in trouble, and I felt bad doing it, so I didn't. And I encouraged Nico Sam to spread it and not get caught because I thought it was deserved. It's not a felony to send a picture of a leaked sex tape to your friend, bro, Limfeo. We were drawing things on it, my dick, back and forth like the Doom Worm. I sent it to people who Nico had already sent it to, supposedly. I made a screen grab of his foreskin, my profile pic, and a private Discord server. That's it. I wasn't sending it around. I got a picture from a random person on Discord. What? That's a zoomed in image of the image of your cock she was sending. Based. And Mr. Girl, LOL, made a grand return to Justical stream. Justical also began to reach out to other women, some of who had been sexually harassed by members of his own Discord server, to see if any of them wanted to come on and make a statement about me. I didn't decide to include all the messages here, but this was him to on it. If you're around, shoot me a message. Are you aware of what's going on with Destiny? Justical reached out to quite a few people, we'll say. People everywhere began to speculate that every insane narrative about me was true. Or, I'm sorry. People everywhere began to speculate that every insane narrative about me that had ever been spun had now been prophetically fulfilled, and I crashed on my couch for 3 days to contemplate retirement. Also, Justical banned Laugh from his server because he realized how bad the optics were while he was trying to farm me. I just thought that was funny as the main cover of a lot of this.
Here's the first thing. Here's the first thing. Is that JSTLK already knew about this before yesterday. We talked about it slightly. And he said that, you know, it was different to what Destiny did, but it was, like, still bad, and so he didn't want me on stream talking about the Destiny allegations anymore. I was like, you know what? I get it. Whatever. Like, I get it. Like, whatever. Even though it's, like, completely different than what Steven did. It, like, you know, I don't want to... It's, like, bad optics to...
Picking up the pieces. Seeing the number of people and schemes revealed initially made me incredibly paranoid about who I could trust that wasn't mining our conversations for some sort of confession or blackmail material. Justical messaging, hey, I really don't want to pry. Some stuff came out with respect to Pixie. I don't want to talk about it anywhere, but just asking if you're aware. What do I do? Just say yes? As in, yeah, I'm aware? President Sunday, say nothing. Give him a night to possibly think to say something else. Tomorrow, say yes and ask why. That's my advice. I don't know, he talks weird. Reason being is that everybody at the moment, I think Justical is weirdly one of the few in trust at the moment. I'm so frustrated with her, but I don't see how getting upset with her for doing this will lead to anything other than making her feel bad. Oh, it won't do anything. You're going to have to let her torch herself and then pat her shoulder after the consequences of her own actions ruin her year. The smart move, actually, would be to maneuver as a victim of Steven and put those people currently jumping down her throat on her side. But outraged about the fact of the leak and make that the scandal instead of, ooh, Pixie, no. Nice. Kyla's being snaky about this. Pixie contacted her and was kind of trying to use her as a liaison. I told her Kyla can't be trusted to help with that. Dan contacted Pixie a few weeks ago. According to what she told me, basically said, ask Steven for a reasonable amount of money, and he'd probably pay it, plus wanting to convince her not to take legal actions against Kiwi Farms, which he's considering. You up for a call later tonight? Blah, 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 blah. Just, you know. Let's talk tomorrow. I'm going to talk with someone I trust. Sounds good. This is blackmail. Tell her under no circumstances to do this. Dan is a fucking moron, or he's trying to sabotage her. Seeing Lauren's name, created by Lauren Dreben Hayden. Seeing Lauren's name pop up on Pixie's Substack confirmed to me that there was significant coordination going on in the background between her and Pixie. At least, and seeing Aaron and President Sunday talking and scheming so much made me wonder what everyone's ultimate goal was. Pixie going public was something I hadn't heavily considered because it seemed to worsen both of our positions on virtually every front. Her part in the leaked material had been virtually unknown up to that point, and she had also proclaimed several times up to this point that she would kill herself if her parents discovered her role in it. think if it was public info that you were taking legal action, 99% of people who come across it would assume it was because of your own videos and not even know about the other stuff, to be honest. I follow the bottom feeders and drama frogs who discuss all of this stuff, and very few people have even mentioned Pixie. I haven't actually heard Melina's name come up once. The blah, 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 this guy, Smith, some weird dude. There's nothing she can do about randos on Twitter, but as far as communities that are close to her, it's pretty much a blacklisted topic. She's driving herself crazy because she's clearly name searching herself and just going through kiwi farms. Queeman watched the video, and even most of his gay little chat was like, okay, even I didn't know Pixie was involved. What the fuck? Queeman? Did I fuck up? The only thing her going public seemed to accomplish was to make the material far more publicized than it ever would have been otherwise. It also became clear to me that Aaron and President Sunday weren't the main people Pixie was listening to in the background. Update, nope, haven't heard from her since the 8th, but she's been active, so she's just ignoring me. Well, give it a couple days, or we'll give it a couple days. I'd like for her to update me, and she kind of randomly had been throughout this whole thing, but I think she's annoyed with me. I told her to gently readjust her expectations with money that she could receive in any sort of settlement, plus said the demand letter first wasn't a good idea. Let me know when you're able to talk. Serious development, good development. Oh, I'm not free until tomorrow night to chat. TLDR, should it wait? Urgent, actually. Tell me I can't pass anything to Pixie, though. She's not replying, and I just don't feel comfortable bringing anything about this up to her. That, combined with Lauren's creation of the give, send, go, plus the message she sent me the same night Pixie began to threaten suicide to me, made it more clear to me that Lauren was likely the one guiding her behavior. I think this is just a picture again of her creating that give, send, go. I also felt far more confident in my suspicion that this was all ultimately about extracting the maximum amount of money from me. Pixie had deleted her message to me where she'd even implied a higher dollar amount than what I'd be comfortable with. So we are in our DMs where she said, I feel like whatever I ask you to cover will be too high a price too. And then I'm going to feel even worse over it. This message, the only time we'd ever discussed an actual dollar amount kind of, was deleted now from our DMs. Seemingly tried to cover her tracks by implying that I could donate to a charity while texting a mutual friend. I don't think if Stephen faces consequences, he will change it again. If he wants to, he can donate the money to some charity or organization. I just think that other than jail, or even more than jail from the studies I read, money is the strongest reinforcer, and losing it is the strongest punishment. Cover her tracks by implying I could donate to a charity while texting a mutual friend, and now I was seeing Aaron telling President Sunday that her suicide threat was done just to get my attention. And the messages here that she had been sending to President Sunday, Aaron says she was threatening to kill herself to him, but she told me this wasn't serious, it was just to get his attention. I also saw that she'd put together the statement that she published on her Substack at least 12 days earlier, and perhaps unknowingly to her, actually exactly outlined her schemes and messages to Aaron that looked similar to texts she'd sent to Kyla. Update, she sent me a statement she wants to publish, but it's terrible. This was on the 8th of January. And then to Aaron, she says, what day were you thinking about releasing it? I mean, the most I can think of is the Virginia stuff or Nas, but I have trouble seeing how he would do that in a way that doesn't make him look worse for trying to deflect. I don't know what she's talking about here. If she thinks I would, like, attack her friends, I don't know. I'm going to talk to my lawyer first, send a demand letter, and based on his response to said demand letter, release it. I originally wanted to do it by next week, but it seems unlikely. This was on January 8th. And then this looks similar to the text she'd sent to Kyla, or my friend, I should say, about deciding our course of action based on how I respond. This completely destroyed the idea that President Sunday's video had forced her hand. Ironically enough, President Sunday seemed to understand the extortion angle as well, though he was incorrect in saying that it was Pixie's first impulse to do this, as that seemed to develop sometime around or before December 11th, which is when, I'm guessing, Lauren began coaching her more ardently. This is his take on everything, but I don't know if it matters to get his take, but I also finally saw in writing confirmation that she was indeed seeking a payout of at least $1 million in order to prevent her from going public. These were messages Kyle and Pixie exchanged on December 18th. Kyle was telling Pixie that she would talk to Steven IRL about the whole ordeal, but then she said scheduling issues prevented the conversation. She also says every time she's tried to ask for details via messages, he's not engaged, but I think that's a lie, obviously. And for context, Pixie wanted to sue for a lot of money, literally $1 million plus, but I told her that amount isn't realistic. If she did that, which I doubt, that would be incredibly misleading. She's wanted an incredible amount of money from the start, and I have repeatedly but gently told her that she will not get the sum she wants. There's no legal basis for her getting $1 million payout, which she repeatedly discussed with me. Aaron thinks, for whatever reason, I guess, that I'm lying about having talked to Kyla, but every single person close to me, I basically said, hey, I'm not talking about this with you. We're not discussing this, except for the things in relation to the communication through Pixie, because I had no idea who was talking to who. And I just didn't want to be the mastermind manipulator or anything. So I didn't give instructions, talk to anybody, say anything, do anything, unless they were communicating things to me from Pixie. Sharing videos. As a quick aside, and to get way further into my sexual life than I'd ever publicly want to, trading nudes or videos with someone isn't done to impress anyone, as Pixie writes in her Substack. In my world, it's generally just fun to see someone you're speaking with engaging in sexual acts. When the idea of making recordings comes up with someone, there are a few different categories that people tend to fall into. For people who are extremely concerned with their privacy or material possibly leaking, I generally just recommend that we don't record anything at all, as there's always some risk that stuff can leak, and it's just not worth the anxiety of having any material like that recorded. If someone still wants to record something after that, I would generally just have them record on their phone for them to keep hold of the material. Other people don't view it as a catastrophe if the material leaked, and have already made recordings of themselves and others and exchanged them with other people. With that out of the way, conversations guessing as to whether or not any of the leaked material was consensually shared was a hot topic of discussion following the initial leaks. Pixie would send messages to people to tell them that she had never sent videos of other people to me before, and she portrayed herself in her Substack as though I was the first person to ever suggest this to her, and I was the first person she ever recorded material with. I know that she's messaged people with stuff like this. This statement and implication, however, are both false. She'd sent me videos of her and other guys multiple times prior to us ever meeting and requested material from me as well. It was also her who suggested multiple times that we record stuff when we met later in 2020. I took some videos of the guy. I can send you later if you're interested also. Okay, I'll send you when I get them. This is just basically her talking about sending me videos of her with other people on Instagram where she DMs this to me. Basically, I don't want to read these. They're cringe as fuck. I'm with a guy friend right now. I could probably get a photo or video of him, blah, blah, blah. And then the times that for us recording anything, it's going to be so nice when you do. Would you want to make some videos together? If you want to, yeah, sure. Do you want to take videos when we do stuff together? I think I'd blah, blah, blah. Jesus Christ. I was engaged to Melina at the time, so there's no way I would have agreed to anything that wouldn't have allowed her to view anything I recorded. Pixie was comfortable sending me videos of her and other identifiable men, with them even having saved the videos on their own phones. I took videos of some guy. I can send you later if you're interested. Sure, I'll send them to you when I get them. At no point in any of these conversations did Pixie ever mention having explicit consent from any of these other men to share these videos with me. I have no way of contacting them today to find out if she did. All this to say, consent was being reasonably understood by both sides of this situation. Back to the Substack. Pixie DM'd me first, I believe after we'd had a debate on some Twitch panel on October 23rd, 2019. She told me multiple times that she was 20 years old. You're 20, right? Yeah, yeah, I am 20. I had a fake ID, blah, blah, blah. I'm 20, yeah, yeah. So I'm not entirely sure why she said I was hitting on her when she was 19. By the time we met in person, she was 21. Based on my interactions with her, I find it odd that she describes herself as extremely sexually inexperienced and sheltered as well. When I was 19, over 5 years ago, I was extremely sexually inexperienced and sheltered, being severely terrified of leading, so blah, blah, blah. In several places, Pixie deliberately uses language that makes it sound as though I'm simply sending explicit material containing only her to another person. Pornographic content of me online. So you can imagine my surprise when I discover he distributed pornographic content of me without my consent. Yes, you read that right. He sent pornographic content of me, was trying to using my body and my privacy. This is not the case. The material in question is an explicit video of me and her together. I would never just send around explicit material of another person on their own. Any material I've exchanged is done so because I'm in it, not to impress someone by using someone else's body. She also repeatedly claims that the main purpose of the statement was about preventing me from harming other women. If that was the case, why did she contact me at all prior to releasing it? Why was her publishing this statement contingent on my response to her and how much I was willing to pay her? One of the most irritating and conspiratorial claims she makes against me is that I was sending material to a person intentionally hoping they would leak. This all comes from her statement. I don't think I need to explain just how unbelievably baseless, callous, and malicious this point is, as I have suffered irreparable privacy and reputational harm due to all of the publicization of the leaked material. Similarly, I find it both incredulous and ludicrous that she would imply that I was somehow attempting to intimidate her based on comments I'd been making about Hassan. I have never at any point in this process told her that she had no right to take legal action against me, nor denied her any right to pursue whatever justice she felt was reasonable. On the contrary, she has been the one threatening me with going public and with suicide the entire time if I wasn't willing to pay her a massive sum of money. She also manages to twist every conversation we had in the most malicious way possible, claiming that I was downplaying my actions, when in reality I was trying to talk her off a ledge from killing herself with the advice of her friend. In addition to the misrepresentation and lies in her statement, she is also sure to link directly to any tweets involving other high-profile figures I spoke with, likely with the goal of getting others to tweet her statement at them. She also makes it explicitly clear that her goal is to simply inflict as much damage onto me as possible. Also, the wording of her Substack tweet heavily implies that I was also publicly posting revenge porn of her. On November 29th, the streamer Destiny accidentally shared my nudes, making me a victim of revenge porn. I'll be suing him in federal court. I'm not clicking these links. They're just like links to her quoting her Substack, basically. Negotiations begin. On January 31st, 2025, I received the first written demand from Pixie's law firm. This time, the letter was citing Florida Civil Statute 784-049 for sexual cyber harassment, which requires malicious intent for publishing images. Basically, for this, it's saying that you're sending these for no legitimate purpose with the intent of causing substantial emotional distress to the depicted person. Thankfully, the demand to settle our dispute was a reasonable one, with Pixie only requesting $15 million plus legal fees in order to come to an amicable settlement. Notably, there was no request for any of this money to go to charity. As a result of this violation, my client has suffered considerable harm, including but not limited to severe emotional anguish, damage to personal relationships, and public humiliation. The unlawful actions have disrupted my client's personal and professional life, and we are now compelled to seek monetary compensation for these damages. In light of the foregoing, we hereby demand the following: immediate monetary compensation for the damages caused by the unauthorized disclosure of intimate images. Specifically, my client is entitled to at least $15 million in compensation for the following things: a formal written apology from you acknowledging your role in the unauthorized disclosure and the harm it caused, immediate cessation of further things, reimbursement of legal fees, failure to resolve this matter within 5 business days. All right. A phone call followed between our two law firms to discuss the absurdity of this demand. I was incredibly irritated at this point, as Pixie had already launched a maximum pressure campaign against me publicly, and I was forced to sit on my hands while these negotiations took place, since I didn't want to compromise her ability to settle things with me without having to publicly out our prior private interactions. It was also unbelievable to me that someone could so quickly go from being so suicidal over the prospect of her parents discovering the leaked material to posting a public statement against me, implicating her in all of the leaked material and exploding its popularity, filing a civil suit against me without even trying in good faith to reach a settlement beforehand, and publicly provoking and continuing fights with others who were also publicizing aspects of the leaked material. Just randomly bashing some dude's physical appearance. You look like a hard-boiled egg wearing a toupee, and you think you're qualified to comment on someone else's looks. And then him bringing up, obviously, the leaked material. Sir, you flirt with one. And then her quote tweeting it and responding about it. The present. And that's where we're at now. The last few months have been an utter nightmare for me. It's frustrating that no one cares that QB Farms is still, to this day, hosting all of the revenge porn on their own servers. To reiterate, the reasons it's taken me so long to make any statements about this are because, initially, I wanted to minimize publicizing both mine and other people's explicit material. Then, it was due to Pixie's claims that she would kill herself if the material ever made its way to her parents. And finally, it was done to allow Pixie to have the maximum room possible to negotiate some sort of settlement with me without me having to come out with a statement of my own that sheds more light on her character and her behavior. There's always room for improvement in my own behavior, and I've obviously reflected on and changed the way I've engaged with people in this space over the past couple of years. This entire ordeal involves a video recorded 5 years ago and sent 3 years ago in April of 2022. It's irritating that my prioritizing Pixie's well-being at every stage of this after the leaks has resulted in me being maligned so heavily, but alas. I don't look forward to the next 12 to 18 months of this drip feeding onto my content. Maybe we'll spend it trying to beat Elon into space. What a fun adventure. I don't really want to get into like a huge back and forth on whatever bullshit. I know there are other situations and things that people have made, other accusations or claims that are all entirely fucking baseless. But I'm
Thanks for
trying
the
to do
follow,
this one piece at a time because I'm managing
Thank
multiple
you.
stuff, especially stuff that
Why
might
isn't my dude moving?
become legal. I just have to be careful with exactly what I say about the other person so I don't invite further civil action in the form of like, oh, now he's defaming me or blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. Anyway, I'll post this. Good luck. I don't know if I'm doing anything else tonight or not with Dan. And then tomorrow I will, play video games and do fucking commentary and all that bullshit. Any comment on how Kyle and Dan got raked over the coals for no reason by your detractors? I really feel for them. It's all just like conspiracy posting. Me and Kyla, literally, I don't know what it is about Kyla, but she invites literally the most deranged, obsessive hatred ever. Pretty sure most people in this situation, at least that I've communicated with, have basically been trying to communicate with Pixie for Pixie's sake. And that's every communication I've seen has seemed to further that. Now, there might be other communications that I'm not aware of that contradict that, but I haven't seen it. Generally, when I go to write stuff like this or do research, I usually have like 20, 30, 40, 50 people that are communicating with me, different logs or different things at different points in time. After this whole situation exploded, I literally have nobody communicating anything with me because I'm apparently a rapist. So every piece of information I've gotten is just what I've been able to piece together on my own, and then what other people have managed to leak or post in public videos. So, yeah. Well, good luck. Have fun. Be careful. Stay safe. I will, yeah. I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, wait. Sorry, some guy asked this.
Bye, Destiny.
Will you explain what I hired a more aggressive law firm means? Like, what does that more aggressive mean in this case? And how does it work having two firms? The first firm I contacted was to basically deal on the plaintiff side, deal with the person who is maliciously leaking and posting all of the material. However, they're I don't know how much I want to get out of this. If you have a good law firm, they usually specialize in certain types of things. That law firm is, I would say, specializes in plaintiff stuff. Like, they go after people who do certain things, but they don't really specialize in defense cases. It's just not really what that law firm does. So I retained a second law firm that specializes more in defensive stuff against people making claims against you, hence the second one. But yeah. All right. Well, have fun. Be careful. Don't die.
Wow. That's it. That's it, gang. That was crazy. That was crazy, chat. That was crazy, chat. I'm pretty convinced, honestly. Looking bad for Pixie. I've had my DGG standardized butt plug on hand, and I'm inserting it now out of solidarity. If you think that the Destiny Manifesto made him the victim, then you too should insert your DGG standardized butt plug. Let's go. Let's go. It's got a little DGG dude on it. He's tickling my colon. Exactly. Butt plugs in for Destiny. Let's go see what's going on in Justicle's Discord.
Is that PRs?
Bro, go to fucking public too. Why the fuck are
225
you?
for thing.
Jesus.
I'm
you
totally
kill yourself?
convinced Pixie looks pretty fucked. If you guys also think that Destiny's up big, insert your standardized DGG butt plug now out of solidarity. You could have your prostate tickled by the little DGG.
Yeah, Have that thing up
You
your
know,
ass
Chris
right
Lettuce,
now.
she just released
I've seen enough.
she just
Destiny is returned.
released a tag
Destiny's
or a
back.
tweet.
What
Oh,
you done?
Pixie did a counter tweet.
Yes,
I
I
don't
just
know
said
how
this
this
lying
changes
about
anything
it.
with
Yeah.
Destiny
Pixie
at
just
all.
put log
Pixie
on said shit.
Jesus Christ. Kendrick is so good with the links, dude. It's very cool of him. Boom, boom, boom. Supwoid. My god, dude.
Yo, yeah, it was very loud in there. That was
Yeah.
a great drop in from you, though.
Yeah. Fuck, there's no way I'm hanging out in there to have an actual talk about it. I feel like it must be frenzied. Like, chicken to gen chat, and it's just moving so fast. And
It was
I'm
pretty quiet during the
all about
during the
it.
stream. So Taxi,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
deafened.
How would you feel if, like, Destiny just gets off not guilty, Pixie makes a huge slip up, and it's just she is going after money? Like, it'd be fucked, right? Like, would you feel bad for Destiny?
Yeah,
Really, is the question.
feel bad for him in what way? Like if he didn't get in trouble, or did? I won't feel bad for him at all in any way.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm asking. Almost like, what would it take
Like
to feel
his-
bad for him?
hi-
But then,
His shit got leaked because he was sending it around.
yeah, I
Stop
know,
doing that.
right? Like, if this happened and it wasn't his fault at all, I don't know. I would be mildly like sad that it went to his family or whatever, but I would just be like nowhere near as much as I like relate to Pixie, right?
Yeah,
There was a video that put out.
I don't think anything that
Go on.
I don't think that anything that Pixie did or said that he just showed makes any difference because he was sharing stuff around. It doesn't matter what she said or did. She didn't give him permission to do that, and he did it for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So it's just optics. The whole thing was just optics.
Yeah, it did really cover a lot of the stuff that I've already, or it's like a solidification of like all of the shit that he's already been saying. Like, I don't think many DGGs were like totally surprised by that. Like when they're posting like cinema, wow, I feel like
Yeah,
that's just like
this
a
girl
reaction
who-
from them because it's just the same thing that he's been telling them the whole time.
Yeah. This woman who's so upset she's thinking about killing herself has a plan. She didn't handle this exactly the right way and just go straight to legal action and talk to all the right people and say all the right things in her manic depressive mindset. So I'm gonna light her up and tell everybody how I'm the victim.
Yeah, the thing where he's like 2 weeks later, she starts talking about justice and blah blah blah, and it's like, yeah, I don't think her.
Maybe
like,
she decided not to die, and someone said it's worth living and you should pursue this.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Like, I don't think the first thing on her mind was like how to find the words to describe this. I think she would have been just
Stone
freaking
says, I
out.
can't wait to see how Darius will spin this one. He's already tweeted.
True. Me and Dung were talking about it earlier that like what would Darius's reaction be if you just showed him all of Destiny's DGG logs for the past few days? If you like sat down with him and you're like, doesn't it seem like this guy not only doesn't have remorse, but he's like super aggressive about this? And
It'd be the
we were
same
both saying-
response he had to Justical. Those court documents are fake.
Well, it would be
It'd say it's fake.
Destiny's.
I won't even look.
Well, it'd be Destiny's own words in DGG chat. But yeah. Regardless, me and Dung Devil convinced me that Darius just doesn't have the brain power or the emotional capacity to like handle it. Like he would just sort of like break down, probably angrily, and have like cognitive dissonance of like "fuck you for showing me this," sort of thing. Or like why do you even need to show people this? Who cares? Like this is cool, you know. I don't know what he would do, but it's just like he wouldn't quite be able to handle it.
He needs that figure to look up to.
Yeah, Destiny changed his life. I don't think he's able to like see him as anything other than probably the literal manifestation of Jesus. I feel like he probably dreams about Destiny at night and like coming to save him from scary monsters. Darius has like an ayahuasca trip, and it's just
Destiny holds his hand all the way through it.
Yeah, it's just Destiny is like his spirit guide. Someone
Yeah.
close to you will come. I had a friend like who
Welcome, my
was
goon.
really big on like the. I don't actually know how to describe this guy. He was just very like esoteric, you know, but he would just sit in his backyard smoking ciggies, and he was like a big artist, and just like the most zen dude I ever met. And yeah, he said to me once, he was just like, yeah, like when you do have like a spiritual experience or like a crazy thing, most people do have like a guide to them, and he was like, yours will probably be Jesus. And he like laughs. And knows I was like raised like a Christian kid, and I was like, I didn't see that coming. I honestly don't even know to this day who mine would be. I don't know if I'm like a furry, but I think it might be my cat. I had this dream once that after my cat died, that like a man approached me, and I look up and it's got like my cat's face, and I was like, oh, crazy.
What was he wearing?
Um,
Like slacks and a button up, full suit.
jeans,
Okay.
and I don't want to say jeans and a t-shirt. So that just sounded, but it might have just been jeans and a t-shirt. It was just a
Hey,
cool
just a bloke.
cat.
Yeah.
Where can I find Darius's Twitter? Here it is. Darius put out a tweet. Darius put
One with
out
words this time, or is it the
It's
picture
just-
one?
the picture of him and Shellboner. It was
Yeah,
that
move
of
it
a
to stream.
man's dream. Is that really his latest tweet? Did he not? Oh no, that's his pinned tweet. And then he's got just never doubted.
Yeah, I saw the never doubted thing.
Okay, he's just puffing it up. He's just stoked on it. And what did Pixie's one say? Destiny is implying that I'm guilty.
That she had consent.
Right. Destiny is implying that I'm guilty of the same crime he is. This is false. The guy was my ex who consented to sharing. This was not recording random one-night stands. Destiny knows the truth. He has taken screenshots out of context in an attempt to twist the narrative. So these must be screenshots that Destiny shared, and now she's resharing them. But enhanced versions, the director's cut. Do you have any cute pics of it? Also, I made a bad life decision. The guy I currently am in love with was encouraging me to contact people I've talked sexually with before. So I contacted the guy who played me a long time ago, because other than you, he's the only other one who knows me in that context, and now I'm kind of sad about it. Weird. But the context is weird, I guess.
It's a sexual context, I think.
Yeah, that's a sexual. Sorry, it's off topic
But
completely.
that
but I'm
PFP
like,
is there, and it's like, is it the only person?
Yeah, why is the guy? Yeah, true. Yeah, that saucy PFP dude. Why is the guy she's in love with, which I'm guessing isn't Destiny? No, maybe that is Destiny.
I think it is. Yeah, I think she's just
Right.
talking kind of outside the situation for narrative purposes.
This is a message to Destiny, though. Or am I confused? The guy I'm in love.
Yeah, I think she's saying like,
I get what you're saying.
yeah, she's saying like, I asked the ex if I could share it, and I had to contact him, and I didn't like it because he's the only other, like, it's very vulnerable for me to contact him.
Yeah.
Hello.
What's up, Serpent?
Oh.
Chris is
Am I
streaming.
interrupting?
Nah,
Oops, sorry.
No, you can.
it's-
I'm just letting you know, so you
Yeah,
can
you're
exit
on-
stream.
He's just letting you know you're on stream.
Oh, appreciate it. Appreciate it.
I just want to blast through Pixie's tweet that she put out 15 minutes ago, and then we can just chat. So Pixie's addressing Destiny, saying that she's basically done what he's done. He says, "Yes, I'm still talking to that one guy, lol. I still have feelings for him, rip. And he won't get super mad if I visit you in LA, as long as I talk to him about it before and I'm honest with him."
Okay, maybe the man she's in love with is not Destiny then,
Yeah.
that she mentions in the message before.
It's just funny that the same guy she's in love with is getting her to contact ex-lovers, because then it makes you think that's Destiny getting her to contact ex-lovers to get pictures. I don't know.
Hey, Scrub, just to let you know, Crisp is live on Kick.
Yeah.
Bro,
Hold on,
I can't believe you said like.
Hold on, Scrub.
I
I'm going to turn
can't
your volume
believe-
down if you keep talking. Alright, thank you. So then she says, "No one knows either on my end, except my ex-boyfriend. I trust you, believe you. Do you think you're going to make up a bunch of stuff? Jesus Christ. Where did you get this info?" Oh my god, thank you for the follow, Micromonix. Jesus, where did you get this info? Is Max claiming it's it or Lab or both? I can see Lab making it up in thin air, but I feel like the Max takes a sliver of information and then twists it until it becomes a new monster creature. Okay, these must just be like more in context of clips that he has already shared, right? So maybe I need to like pair this with his manifesto or something that he showed. It's a little bit hard to hear what she makes out, but if I read what she says next, it might bring it all together. So then she goes on to tweet, "I hate the fact that I'm being forced to humiliate myself like this. I was sexually struggling and my ex suggested me experimenting with others to see if I could increase my confidence. I wanted to make my partner happy, but I didn't want to try things with random people. So I chose someone who was an expert in consent and boundaries. I chose someone I thought I could trust. Now you have decided to violate my privacy not only once but twice by posting my private sexual messages with you. I never wanted people to know about my sexual struggles in the past. I never wanted to litigate my sex life. This was supposed to be private. The details of my sex life are supposed to be for my partner and me only, not random strangers on the internet." She then gives it a part 3, which is, "Destiny, you were the second person I ever slept with. I thought I could trust you. Now you're using the intimate details of my life against me. I need you to stop. You already shared some of the most intimate moments for the world to see. Why are you forcing me to share more? What do you gain from this?" Yeah, he did really just shit all over her. But that's that. You can go ahead now, Scrub, mate. Hit me with it, dude.
Bro, I actually can't believe he made the argument. I didn't send her nudes. I sent nudes of me and her. What the fuck does that even
I
mean?
sent our
What
nudes.
does that mean?
He's
I
the
was in
victim,
shock.
bro. That's what that means.
I was in shock watching
yeah.
that shit.
Yeah, the narrative is that he is the victim. That's the main thrust of everything. That
While
we
in
got
the
there.
same thing, he's like actively trying to suggest that her like, you know, desire to like, or her suicidality is like a plot or a ploy, which is like, to his rabid fan base, that's got to be an insane thing to throw out there.
It's a big one. It's the crazy fan base. Hearing this and thinking yo, this is just another trash woman to go after. The misogyny in DGG is rampant, dude, to the point where it impacts Destiny's relationship with women in general. You know, we know this because he tries to do the anti-misogyny arcs, but he continues to make it pretty much known that he's fucking every woman on stream. And the misogyny does not stop. I mean, not only is he fucking all the women that come on stream, he's then, like, targeting them on women to, like, keep them, their bloodlust satiated. Jesus Christ.
What he did was objectively wrong, and now his manifesto is he's complaining about a tattletale. That's
Bro,
so childish. He told on me.
My bad.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Bro, one part of his argument felt dead ass like, I know you are, but what am I? He said, oh, he showed some shit where she was apparently sending things from other guys. What does this have to do with you sending nudes of her to a 19-year-old? You just said, oh, she did it, so I'm in the right as well.
When he is explicitly someone that markets himself as very knowing on this subject, as very involved, and as an older person in that regard, that is like I mean, it's not to excuse necessarily bad behavior, but it's understandable when a younger person engages with it than someone who is like very much marketing themselves on the knowledge of like how these things ought to function.
Yeah,
but
so
even
like
on
premarital sex and all of that is a risky thing, right, in general, and that doesn't mean that he gets to go out there and take advantage of that risky behavior, especially by like portraying himself as the safe one, right? This is pretty much what he's been doing. It's not good. Go ahead. Anyone else? Go ahead, Scrub.
No, I'm just like,
What
even
the
if
fuck?
like, let's say she did kind of the same thing that he did.
Mm-hmm.
One, it is inherently different because she's talking to somebody she trusts, like actually knows in real life. You cannot make that argument for Destiny talking to a fucking e-girl. Like, it's a private conversation between two people who know each other for years. That's completely different than fucking sending nudes to an e-girl.
Yeah,
To get
that
your dick.
does massively take away from what's it called? Like the grievous negligence from Destiny.
Yeah.
It is so negligent doing that to the e-girl that it almost seems like intentional, right?
Well, exactly.
Whereas like
Yeah, it's
her,
like
sharing
sorry.
videos with Destiny is like that's a friend of hers, or like talking to her ex-boyfriend. That's literally an ex-boyfriend.
Like if we're to view like the risk of violating consent as like a probability like spectrum or something like that, like if it's people that you know, you've built a long relationship with, you can make like better assumptions that, oh, this person is clearly having these discussions. But the exposure you open yourself to with like this online e-girl type like energy and sending this to like, honestly, who knows who else, like it's a totally different ball game.
Yeah.
Bro, I honestly don't know why he decided to respond. This was like the worst response that I've ever seen of him.
It's pretty
It's the
crazy to
most
come.
fucking illogical shit ever.
I totally didn't think it would happen. Because yesterday he basically got like a gag order to like shut the fuck up. So he's just totally ignored that and released this manifesto, which makes me think that any lawyer on his side is going to be like, "What the fuck, dude? We're not defending you. Like, if you're gonna act this way." And fuck, what was my third point? Oh, I was wondering yesterday. I was so sure that he wouldn't drop this manifesto that I was wondering if it's like bait. Serpent made a really good meme of the movie Seven, right? Where Destiny was fucking the killer. What's the actor's name? And Justical was
Kevin Spacey.
Kevin Spacey, that's right. Destiny was Kevin Spacey, and Justical was Brad Pitt. So Kevin Spacey's saying, like, you know, I went and visited your wife last night, I did all this crazy stuff. And what he's just trying to do is, like, portray himself as this absolute psycho who's done some crazy thing, which in the movie he has actually done it. I mean, in real life, I guess Destiny's done it too. But the point in that movie is to get these people to attack you, like, really hard. and think that you're crazy. And I'm wondering, like, is Destiny just faking releasing a manifesto? Because surely no sane man would do this. Is he just trying to bait us into thinking that he's like a remorseless fucking monster? Because what is the play? What is the play? I am not sure if he is reserved that he is going to lose, and he is just building his audience's like loyalty, so that like he's gonna lose no matter what. I'm just gonna make sure I have the most loyal audience possible.
Yeah, it's like a stress testing for the cult. Like, who's willing to remain after I go this far? Like, I'm gonna make it so intense in here that only the most loyal kind of the white blood cell type will remain.
Yeah, and it's very much like that in there, like the Odashara,
which cults do.
And like Dan was live streaming, and I was like DMing Dan, so he like talked about my DM on stream, and a bunch of DGGs were like, Crisp just hates Destiny. Crisp hates him. Like get him. Like Crisp isn't like one of us now. And I don't know how any of them have any perception of what I think at all. 100%, none of them watch my stream. None of them fucking have ever like talked to me in Justicle's Discord. I don't know. I haven't really looked through like my logs to see what they've been saying about me in DGG. But their immediate reaction is just like paranoid, aggressive, pushing anyone out who isn't like fully on board. Which is weird. For one thing, I mean, the entire time and hanging out with DGGs, there's always like a weird kind of uncomfortableness. But now you sort of get to see what these kinds of mindless freaks that I used to hang out with are like, you know? This is like the silver lining of it. Like, a lot of his friends have left, a lot of DGGs, I mean, all of his friends except for Darius, Dan, Xena, and Erudite have left. So you get like everyone is sort of no longer stuck in the orbit of this weird dude, you know, and they all get to like come together as their own posse and like a new circle with hopefully high potential. I mean, definitely high potential. We obviously are like the better half of this. We all get to hang out together now. You know, it's good.
The only thing I was waiting for was like if he was like gonna mention the cherry thing, like, because if he didn't do anything, like for sure he didn't do anything. Even if she's filing a suit, he can say that he didn't do anything. But like I don't fucking know. I feel like if the cherry shit is right, that he's dead to rights. It's over. It is I don't know.
Well, it may be that like part of what I was kind of talking about, like with watching this earlier, it's like building. Destiny, I feel like in the past has talked about how people build a simulacrum of understanding of a subject, so that you're not engaging with the actual thing, but the notions of the thing that others provide. And with all of the like smoke screening that's happening right now, it could be to like create online discourse where people aren't focusing on like that cherry allegation as well, when they're all trying to dissect, well, this is exactly what he said about Pixie, which is or isn't correct. And that creates like a discussion around that, and perhaps could like drown out any discussions about cherry.
The thing is, like, all the people who are calling him out, except for Sunday, because this was before the cherry thing was public, I think all of them have said the worst thing, if true, is the cherry shit. So I don't think a lot of people are going to care, especially as haters, if they like zone in on the cherry shit. And plus, he didn't really reasonably respond to the Pixie thing in the first place. So it's not, I don't know whose mind is really going to change.
There were rumblings that he was going to use the, what's it called? The 15.2 thing? Or whatever it's... Yeah, was it 15.2? It was 15.2. There were rumors that he was going to use 15.2 as like a slander of Cherry, which is pretty cringe. Oh, Micro just sent me a really nice thing. That's really cool, Micro. I like it a lot more than the one I usually use. But yeah, he obviously didn't do that. But I think he probably thought about it, and it sort of just shows how manipulative he's considering getting if he could pull it off. you know.
It feels like at this point, legal consequences playing out as they play out, but like I feel like stopping streaming and stepping away is probably the like best thing he could do for himself and for others to like not precipitate this harm continuing over and over again. Like it to me it seems very much like that the whole dynamic of being a streamer and everything that he's doing is what's like creating the ecosystem for this predation to occur.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think a better man than him would ignore Mr. Ghoul, ignore Lav, not point to President Sunday, and not be like, oh, look how bad these people are treating me over the Pixie thing. I think a better man would just be like, hey, yeah, some people are like being really immature about this.
Bro,
I fucked up, I hurt Pixie, let's just like not try to point to it, but instead he and like to the Just Cool community as well is like the prime example of the community that he wants to make us look like we are saying that he's a rapist, that he fucking beat and murdered Pixie and then, killed her. Yeah. I don't know, he wants us to say horrible stuff. So he's trying to make people doing that so he can look like a victim, like even more.
Yeah, it's like I learned this word recently, but it's like an abjectification where you're creating a sense of like non-personhood in the enemy such that everything is disregarded about them. You don't consider them as real. You don't engage with them. And it's like the whole anti-fan Discord discourse. It feels like it's similar in that vein where it's like these are those conspiring against us and we need to hold strong and maintain our ground.
Yeah. I noticed him calling Just Called the anti-fan Discord. Just Cool did the same thing when I got banned actually from here. But this, I mean, I shouldn't even compare or bring it up, but yeah, I get it. What are they else they've been calling it? Like the runaway Discord, where people who like run away from DGG, they like come here to like find safety, stuff like that. But I think that sounds probably a lot more ominous that we need to find safety from like crazed DGG is. But, yeah, that is.
Well, Underground Railroad Discord.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Underground Railroad.
It's supposed to be Harriet Tubman of DGG.
It is funny that he was DGGer of the year 2024.
It didn't even
it was a deep mob.
The Harriet Tubman of DGG.
You can quote me on that.
He's probably been doing some Harriet Tubman Civ 7. Is it Civ 7? I think it is.
Yeah.
Some Harriet Tubman Civ 7 runs. Hell yeah. Big fan of that game.
It's funny that one of his points was that Just Cool did his homework and like reached out and tried to get all the facts before he talked about it. What a jerk.
What a crazed man.
Yeah,
what a deranged anti-fan.
Bro. One of the things that was like actually pointless though, that you brought up. Why did he talk about Lav? Literally, nobody cares about Lav's opinion. Even his biggest op, Hassan, does not care about her opinion. Why did he spend time talking about Lav at all?
Good point. Maybe the people who
well,
don't
it's like
know
a crazy making thing, right?
Yeah. But for like DGGs, it's a good it's like psyching up your berserkers, like we love hating on Lav, and then for people who have no clue either, this was the big problem with Ryan Beard's depiction of Destiny coming from the other end, is that for people who don't know anything about the situation, what Lav did looks pretty bad, but then like from a more realistic situation, for someone who does know, they should just be like, well, like Destiny and Lav were going back and forward real hard. He done shit to her, and she did shit back to him. And the shit he did to her was, on stream in front of his like massive fucking fan base to like absolutely fucking. His power level is so incredibly high, and he went as hard as possible on her. So she, in an artistic flourish, put his dick as her Discord profile pic. It was, it's pretty fucking funny. It's a bad thing to do, but considering the two of them are going back and forth, it wasn't particularly out of pocket for that moment. I hate to say it. I know I sound like a fucking schizo saying that, but yeah.
The thing is, he brought up Lav, and he spent time talking about Lav, which he shouldn't have. because it was pointless. And then before he talked about Lav, he talked about how a lot of his friends publicly are denouncing him. He didn't talk about Abba because Abba is liked throughout his entire community.
True.
Like, he would never bring up Abba because Abba literally called him a loser in the video. Like, he just called him a loser the whole time. Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Dude,
Which
the
that
Abba
might be
video
like the
was
kryptonite
huge,
to Destiny.
huge Abba W. What's that? Just
What,
getting called
the
a loser?
people-
Yeah.
Yeah, literally being like, this
Yeah.
guy is so cringe. Why are you participating in this? You look like losers and are losers.
Yeah. It's sort of been my take on Destiny the whole time, like that I've known him. Like, typically someone who succeeds to his level is like an intellectual, they're physically fit, they're tall, handsome, they're Hassan Piker but actually smart, right? This is like in Greek mythology, like Socrates and Plato and stuff. They weren't just like philosophical dudes. They were also like champion wrestlers, like fathers with like good families. They fulfill like every niche. And so my take with Destiny is always like, hey, it's kind of relatable that this guy has like been a massive loser and still made it. It makes me feel not so bad about my own failings, and like maybe I can make it as well. But you know, then I'm stuck in this, or not stuck. After seeing him, I'm like, well, maybe the way society like judges some people isn't so wrong. Maybe that guy who like is obviously like a desperate sex pest shouldn't be really held up as like a peak idol, you know?
Yeah. It's like a
or
valuing
someone
pro-social behavior.
Yeah, you should never really idolize anyone, really.
Yeah.
And if you are, maybe it's better for that person to unironically be like succeeding in every virtue.
It's the whole Paul Atreides arc.
Wow, I haven't watched it. I should.
Oh, well, yeah, it's like you basically like through idolizing someone, you sacrifice your own individuality and like ability to have agency in the name of a broader cause that's dictated by a pretty flawed person.
Yeah. True, yeah. Giving up your individuality towards any cause is like a really pervasive through society, but like really bad thing to do. I think
Yeah.
over the past like 5 to 10 years, I've heard people start saying like, yeah, I'm an ideologue. And throughout most of my life, I have just looked at ideologues as like the worst kinds of people. And then it's pretty jarring to hear people like proudly state it. I don't like it at all. Me and Doug
I think it's
will
particularly
spend
odd.
time over it. I think that's where like Straight Raid might be an ideologue in this situation. She seems like she's playing both sides, but not in like a. It's hard to say, but I think it's just like an ideological thing. I'm not sure though. Really.
Yeah,
not
it's
sure.
like I feel like you don't often see liberal demagogy, but like this could be like an example of that.
Yeah. What's a demagogy? You mean just like with a.
Like a
What-
demagogue like taking over an individual figure that is like it's like a political cult develops around a demagogue.
Oh, right.
Because I think you see that with like communism, like in Mao. You definitely can see that with like fascism, but like it's interesting to see what should be such an individualistic ideology, people trying to take this very collective and like this collectivist mindset to it, like this hive mind.
It is very much like that.
It's
I
a
was
Zerg.
watching- yeah. Chud Logic was interviewing some lawyer, and DGG was watching it while they were waiting for Destiny to go live. And he was basically describing that same thing. And DGG, they all zerged out, like, yeah, that's me. But,
Yeah.
at no point do they ever stop acting that way. So it doesn't really seem ironic when they all say it's me. It's like it's just
They're
like
doing the post irony thing. They're doing the Sam Hyde.
yeah. But it doesn't really work when you don't have an entire brand around being yourself. Or it doesn't really work when it's about being in a hive mind cult, I guess.
Well, it's like if you're the bottom of the MLM, like you're getting played.
Yeah, exactly. You can't really be ironic if you don't have any thoughts of your own to be ironic about. Get fucked.
Chris, I got a question. Is Darius still defending Destiny somehow?
Yeah, Darius looks like he was fully chubbed through that whole thing, posting LeBron on Twitter.
Bro, I'm gonna have to like ask the bro question and shit. I'm gonna have to like talk to him on stream or some shit, man. Cause I'm fucking confused.
Yeah, sit down with him and go through Destiny's logs in DGG where he like is just roasting all the women and stuff if you get the chance. See how he handles it. I feel like that'd be super interesting.
Is there any screenshots and shit? I'm about to use that.
I'll just send you a link and it'll
Yep. I'm about to
your live feed. Like, I'll just send you the Russell log with all the details punched in.
Yeah, alright, okay. This is so cooked. Wait, so like, what's Darius' new argument, Chris?
Fuck. Obviously, Dung Devil will probably give you a thorough explanation of it, but I'll do my best. I just pawn you off to Dung. You know, he's real well spoken and has an excellent memory for like points, and can incorporate them all into like one concept, which might not be easy to understand, but you know he's probably correct, Mr. Dung Devil. So Darius was debating Irrelevant and Prawncess with another guy called Zip Zip, and
yeah, I seen it.
Yeah, Darius will try to tell you that you're being silly for even like looking into these things, that the legal side of it is so harsh, and he'll avoid talking about like a moral argument of these things, which is why I think he'll just be like, Destiny's obviously remorseful for what happened, but like he's being attacked really hard, so yada yada yada. So you can hit him and be like, well, like here's what Destiny's saying. Does this look like someone who's remorseful to you? I don't think he'll be able to like cognitively comprehend it. I think it'll rock his brain so hard that he'll probably become pretty upset. Or he definitely will. He's very aggressive, like right off the get-go with his talk with Irrelevant. He's just interrupting, screaming the whole way through. It's hard to say what his point is. I just know that when you try to argue with him, when you lay out like a well-structured point, he'll get all of the structure of the argument you made, and he'll just use that structure and reverse it all back on you, because it requires a tiny amount of brain power to just take what you said and then just say it back to you. You know what I mean? But I think if you like have a picture to point to, like look at the screenshot, look at it, just look at it, and like then that's like something he can't really steal off you because he doesn't have his own screenshots countering that shit.
This nigga, bro, it's crazy.
Fuck, what are
so like
what really are his points? He will try to tell it. You might be able to push him into like slamming Pixie a little bit as well. He'll generally like hold off and be like kind of respectful on that front. You definitely don't want to get too caught up assuming that Darius is being ultra bad faith, because he'll be careful enough to not just like aggressively attack Pixie or whatever.
So for the like look how Destiny's reacting to the shit. So like Rudy would you use that as like an argument? Like just say that in general, like how he was like acting like for like the fucking past week and shit. Like he was like crashing out.
Yeah, I wouldn't jump right into that. I would wait until he starts making statements about like how he thinks Destiny feels about it. and because he'll say that Destiny is, hard done by, but like really upset about what's going on, and he just wants to help the girls out and all that. And then you can be like, well, does it seem like when he says this stuff to his massive fan base, does that A, seem remorseful? And does it seem like he wants his fan base to be the parasocial version of remorseful? Or is it not like he doesn't care and he's like trying to like fire people up to go attack these people real hard? You know?
Real quick though, before the stream even started, like he typed in chat something like, get ready, I'm about to pretend like I don't know this girl. That sounds like somebody who's really remorseful. Like he's making, I don't know, bro.
The one Willie Mack and Ryan Beard used was him putting on the Reddit thread the old, like, calling it an arc, like, legal arc begins, much wow. But I think there's, like, way more scathing ones that you can pull up. Let me have a quick look at, like, everything he's been saying over the past few days. Okay, wish me luck. This is my hardest manifesto yet. I'm going to try and basically make the argument that I don't know who this girl even is.
Yeah, that's
That's the one.
Like I can't imagine him saying things like that is going to go well for him in court. Like,
yeah, like, can he really be like, hey, I was joking about lying about this? When I said to everyone, hey, I'm just going to pretend like I don't know this, or I'm going to pretend that this is what I think. Is it not like, oh, so like you're just lying to the public, aka your massive fan base, like about this?
To have a quick combo. About the...
Did I say anything publicly at all about the last time Cherry was here, or all the drama over TwitchCon with her 15.2 message, or did I never really talk about any of that? Yeah, I guess that's where I was getting the vibe that he was going to bring up Cherry's 15.2 in the manifesto. When did he say that? It was like 19 days ago. What's that, 7/14? Like 2.5 weeks. Random reminder that I had to talk Cherry down from a blatant false allegation that she made against Mr. Gill on stream, and that same Mr. Gill showed up a few weeks ago to support her without question. Pepe laugh.
Destiny's lawyers right now are like Kanye's PR team.
True, like I don't know why. I don't know. I might just like be like a neutral type of person. If this combo even happens, because like I'm trying to like understand his like brain or some shit. You know?
I feel like he'll probably be keen to talk to you. He was meant to talk to Nicholas Diorio yesterday or today, but it fell through. Mainly because both Darius and Nick are just like scatterbrained idiots. But yeah, it was pretty funny when Darius told Irrelevant that, and Irrelevant was like, why would you possibly do that, dude? And Darius and Zip Zip are both like, because he's a retard. This would be easy. Oh my god. I feel like they just want to like try to club people down by like screaming over them.
I think Chris, you already know this already, but I DM'd Darius like I think it was like 2 weeks ago. But like I asked him like if the Sherry shit like comes out like real and shit, and would you like disassociate yourself from DGG or like Destiny? He said yeah, he would.
Oh shit.
I think he said that shit on like Twitter on the X shit, but as well. Like he said, he removed the like the tattoo and shit, the DGG tattoo and shit. So, I don't know. I might just ask him like basic questions to Darius, maybe. Who knows? Because I'm like, what the fuck? This is fucking crazy.
That's
here's the
yeah.
fucking-
Surprising that he said it. I guess he can't really say anything else though. Like no. I'm totally down for the cheery stuff to be real.
I'm still talking to the one guy.
Seems like Darius just sees this as an easy bag to scoop up all the DGG after stream viewers. 100%, yeah, Darius has fully just taken over the role of DGG after stream and he's getting 600 plus viewers for it.
Yeah.
Like, he normally can get like a decent amount, but now he's getting like pretty consistent ones, although his after show sucks. Oh my lord, dude. If Xena wasn't there, like, managing it, and making sure he does it and twerking during it, you know he couldn't pull that off. I wonder how much Destiny and Xena both laughed together about how much they managed to manipulate Darius, how much they managed to pass him around to whatever they want.
I could tell Darius is like she's not the one on trial. I mean, she's not the one on like the trial though, right? So like what's their?
Huh? You mean Xena with Darius?
No, the Pixie. She's not the one on trial.
Yeah.
So like going
on. Obviously, if you do really want to get into it with him and figure out how to do it, you should like study his talk where it was him and Prawnces versus Darius and Zip Zip or whatever his name was. But I mean, it does just really give the vibe that like Darius and Zip Zip aren't really able to coherently like even understand the arguments that are getting put against them. Really, really dumb. But yeah, you can just like look and like see how they'll react and see what they'll try to say, and you can probably guess that they'll just always try to like go on that same vein. Because like, yeah, like I said, considering they don't really know even what their opponents are saying, it probably doesn't matter what you say to them. He'll try and like give you that same stuff back. And I'm not really sure how to get through to him. Like, Irrelevant is really good at being like, you know, having a strong, confident tone and just making it very simple and like pushing it forward. And I've been in debates with people for like hours where I have gone back and forth and like I'm trying to explain to them like why Hassan Piker isn't based. And this isn't people who are Hassan fans, these are like people here in Justical, right? And like this guy is saying like, well, look, I like it that Hassan just like sort of just like, at least he just owns up to it all, right? Like that's just kind of based. I kind of like it. And so I'm like going into detail about like why he's wrong and why he's right for like an hour and a half, and then Irrelevant comes in, and within 5 minutes, Irrelevant just like summarizes like, oh no, I don't think so, I think this. And he's both like compassionate, patient, not like feeling like he's trying to force an idea on something, and this guy just like clicked immediately. And I'm like, oh, well, like some people, they just want to hear like a reasonable argument that they won't feel like a dickhead conceding to, and like they'll just do it. I don't know if Darius is like that, obviously, because he literally tried to debate Irrelevant. But I don't know. I'm actually just spitballing right now, just like ideas on how to talk to people. But especially, I guess, maybe because you're not like a close friend of Darius's, like you might be able to like represent like a reasonable voice to him, or it'd be best to like sound very reasonable and not go too hard. Otherwise, he'll just call you a total retard, probably.
Yeah. Oh wait, what? He's not taking one-on-ones? That's crazy.
Huh?
I think Darius is not taking one-on-ones.
What's a 101? Like a lesson?
Like he's not taking like combos and shit as of right now.
Oh,
think so.
fuck.
I
Oh,
think that's how you
one-on-ones. Sorry, I thought you said 101. Like, you know, like
spell
debate 101, teaching him how to debate. It is funny thinking about him debating the judge.
Has he ever done it?
Has he done a what? Sorry.
Has he ever done a one-on-one? Sorry, my mic's turned down super low.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
I've only
I don't
seen
watch
like the gang
Darius.
shit. Well, I watch it every once in a while. Funny enough content, just for laughing at and pointing at.
Yeah, I mean, I see a lot of his content, and there's definitely times when people are like piling, like something's happening with Darius, but I feel like that doesn't let me really be like, oh yeah, I watch Darius. Okay, I know of Darius. You get the highlights.
What? Kawanta's got into the drama? What? That's crazy.
Oh, Carantos is going to be up big from this, bro.
Mm.
Time for Carantos to relaunch Kick or Keep, you know, and
Hell yeah.
yeah, and be like, I was right about Destiny the whole time.
Well, that'll take work. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like Carantos prefers to go on GTA. I don't think he's trying to set that shit
Yeah.
up.
Well, the gap between him and Destiny is so monumentally massive. And even, so like, Kick or Keep was by far the best thing, the most popular thing that like Carantos has ever done. And then the gap between Kick or Keep or anything else is massive again. Like, anything else is making hundreds of thousands of dollars every year. I don't know if Kick or Keep came close to that. So, Kick or Keep didn't even have like a Patreon or like any real money making source, did it?
Nah, I don't think it did.
It was just like to fulfill like a Kick contract that was paying Destiny like millions. Or whatever it was.
Man, Kick or Keep was such a missed opportunity. I feel like there was barely any good episodes. Like a lot of the episodes that were good solely because of the people who were on it and not because of the format, like at all.
Yeah. Like 1 in 5 episodes maybe was like good.
Yeah.
It
The
wasn't
one
great.
with fucking LTG and Dante's was fucking hilarious.
Sure.
Whenever Wes was on was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, Wes is always good. Definitely enjoy him. He's very spicy, but he's a funny dude.
I
Got the
think
timing.
really he's probably like the only one who can like get inside Darius' brain, honestly. Probably.
Yeah, even then
Probably
it's a struggle.
the thing
but
is
yeah.
like, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Even then, like when Darius was trying to convince him to stop talking to Xena, it was like a fucking months of arguing why this girl is not good for him, and he didn't care. So
I wonder how obsessed Xena still is with Darius. Or even if she ever was, and she was always just... Nah, she kind of always been performing. She was definitely breaking down at points. But, lately she's just been, like, telling, like, Taxi and stuff, like, I'm just having, like, a good time. You know? It's not really that... She's, like... She's sort of over the... She's sort of over it. And just having a good time with it.
yeah.
But I almost just killed myself in this game. Holy shit. Any of you guys play Noita?
The game's hard.
Yeah. I just shot my wand and it it immediately made the bullet that I fired split out into 8 more bullets right in front of my face, and then flick back on me doing 190, 183 damage. So lucky I had 250 health. But I don't know why that happened. Like I know what spells were in the wand. I don't know what kind of interaction they had with each other to almost kill me. Dude, I think my
I don't
mouse
know, I
is
just remember
broken.
blowing myself up 10,000 fucking times in that game.
Yeah. I got 350 runs and I still haven't beat it. So, being medicated though, I think I've got it, you know? I just gotta admit that it is a pretty difficult game, so it'll take a bit of time.
I'm still playing that dungeon game that you were playing the other day.
Oh,
It's my
dude, I
brain
went
off
to,
game for right now.
yeah, I'd probably be playing it right now, but I went to boot it up and it sort of like loads and then just stops loading. So,
I still don't feel like I know what the fuck I'm doing, but I'm enjoying it.
yeah. I think the key is just to run another day. You just keep running days.
Yeah,
The
I
part-
want more money.
Yeah, the part I got up to, I had probably like 10 or 15,000 gold or more in the dungeon, and I was getting like 1,000 per day, I think. And I had a 5x8 like hallway just coming off the back. Actually, I had 2 like 5x8 hallways, and then I lined it with 5x5 rooms. And I would have 1 creature in each of those 5x5 rooms with like a chest and a thing. And then in the main hallway, I had health potions and energy potions lining each wall of the hallway with 2 goblins that would level up quite a lot and spawning as quick as possible, because the goblins drop a lot of gold. They would just constantly be spawning and getting killed because most of the heroes are in the hallways, while the heroes buy potions and slowly go from, you know, the little rooms. And then once they go through all those little rooms with the creatures on the side of the hallways, they would get to the end of the hallway and they would go to another big room, which importantly doesn't have any creatures, because the point of that room is to get them to go to a meeting table. And then they would meet up and form a party, and then they would move forward into the next part, which had all my strongest higher level creatures. And then the dudes, they'd have a really good time in there, like fighting like big mobs. So the point of that is that the first area, let the low level heroes just have like one-on-ones with creatures in little rooms against like the weaker creatures, you know what I mean? Because you want to balance like letting the heroes level up, letting them get gold by potions, and then
I think I fucked it.
yeah.
I have like a murder room and then a second murder room, which has totems in there, so everybody lives. And then I have a respawn thingy. That way the weak levels spawn back in when all the high levels are in there fighting, so they get some experience.
Oh, that's pretty good. I don't think they like respawning, but they definitely like it more than dying.
Yeah, that was just, I kept getting like, I died. Kept getting those
Yeah.
complaints over and over again. So I was just like, all right, fuck it.
Yeah, my biggest complaint was that I died. Every time it pops up, every day, you just hear about them dying.
Yeah,
Oh shit.
get good, losers.
Cool game though. I might reinstall it and see if it loads. So I just uninstalled it out of rage. We did it. Well, not out of rage. I was just like, well, if this isn't loading, no point in having it. I wonder if he's actually going to play Factorio.
Was he live now?
Nah, he went offline.
Like, what's the lowdown on this this stream he just did?
It's his manifesto, dude. He just called Pixie a clout or a money chasing racketeer who's trying to extort him for money. He
Yeah,
said
this
that he was
and you know what that's called? It's called a lawsuit, dog. I,
That's
that's
right.
exactly what lawsuits are. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
legal
that's correct.
extortion, right?
Yep.
But it's kind of weird to say it that way.
Yeah, that was just my first reaction to it as well. It's just pretty standard things, but he tries to paint Lauren De Laguna and other people as like orchestrating it to make it seem like there's a nefarious cartel coming after him. And importantly, he was doxing all of their names.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait, was Lord De Laguna and all of them mentioned in the court document? I guess no. Then why the fuck is he bringing it up?
Really.
Why is it relevant?
Because he thinks that I don't know even who was mentioned in the court document because it's more just like a statement of facts. Actually, Hannah from Justical Server was mentioned in there because like a week or two ago he was still sending, messages to Hannah that were like implying that he was gonna, or maybe not even implying, maybe explicitly, he was like sending the unconsensual nudes around and then like deleting it.
Oh yeah,
Actually,
the deleting part is just insane to me. Like he would delete shit.
Yeah.
Like,
I probably wasn't.
He should be he should be like locked up in prison for that, dude.
It's pretty harsh, but I totally get where you're coming from. You don't really want someone like this free in society. But I think the more reasonable version of that is just to get him on a list.
Well, no, but deleting evidence and stuff like that, knowing there's a lawsuit coming, like that, that's just like, the immense disrespect to like the justice system and just everything. No, you should be put in prison for that.
Yeah, I think it takes a lot to send people to prison, though, right?
What?
It takes a lot to send people to prison.
Yeah, but
pretty fucking harsh. I get the way you feel,
well,
but,
I don't think so. No, I just don't feel that way. Like, no, if you're like destroying evidence in order to like preserve yourself because, there's an incoming lawsuit, that should be faced with like a felony at the very least. And I think it is, probably. Because if there's no like penalty for that, like a extensive penalty for doing that, then it just doesn't make sense to me, like how we can have like a cohesive legal system. It's just, you delete stuff, you delete evidence, you destroy evidence, you only get a fine. No, if you delete any evidence for anything for any time, you should be put in prison.
Like Trump.
What evidence are you on about that that's been deleted?
Let's see what Florida says. Yeah. If for Florida statute 918.3, tampering with or fabricating physical evidence. Oh, this is physical evidence.
You need artifacts, I think is the word you're looking for.
It was 18 U.S. Code 1519, destruction, alteration, or falsification. That's bankruptcy. Let me see.
Where's this evidence that's been deleted?
You're super.
Well, like he admitted that he was deleting messages and stuff like that, and he knew there was a lawsuit coming. And if he knew there was a lawsuit coming, that in of itself means he can't destroy evidence because I don't know I don't know the legal terms for it, but essentially he wouldn't be, essentially he'd be going into the court system with bad faith, and because of that, the judge could say, well, we have evidence of him deleting we have evidence of him deleting evidence and stuff like that. So if this went to a jury trial, he said he could tell the jury said, you can assume the worst things possible. Let your imagination guide you of what he deleted, right? That could be a possible jury instruction. If this was in civil court, even in criminal. But let's just go with fabricating or tampering with physical evidence. I don't know if this works with digital, but to alter, destroy, or conceal or remove any record, document, or other item with the purpose to impair its verity or availability to in such proceeding or investigation, you're guilty of a third-degree felony. There's no misdemeanor, and third-degree felonies are pretty fucking bad.
You'd have to prove intention with that, though.
Well, it's pretty easy to prove
How can
intention,
you hear
right?
that guy? Gray, you're super quiet for me. What's going on?
I have earbuds in.
Yes, I am.
I feel like they could establish intent pretty easily.
I don't see how.
5 years of probation, 5 years of prison, $5,000 fine, and a permanent criminal record is what a third-degree felony gets you. I should say up to.
No one's going to prison over it. It's fun. It's like
He should go to prison. It just the fact, like, no, he should. I just don't like the fact people like fucking with evidence, just generally. I don't even give a fuck if you were stealing candy from a fucking candy store. You shouldn't destroy evidence.
Doesn't everyone do that, lad?
Yeah, and they should be fucking thrown in prison if they do it. So.
This is me.
Are
you proving that? Like, this is surely we'd have loads of people going to prison for destroying evidence, because.
Yeah, well, sadly not enough then, because it's just sadly not enough then. You know, if there's people destroying evidence, then they should go to fucking jail. Like I said,
It's really hard to prove that someone's done it though, with the purpose of.
Yeah, well, it's hard. Well, it might be hard. Yeah, it might be. Yeah, but it's not like you know, we're looking into a black box here, right? This thing has been pretty public so far, and you know, we've been able to see like what he's done. You know, Destiny, when he's doing all this evidence, you know, deleting logs, talking about deleting logs, and you know, people talking to Cherry about how all their logs are gone. You know, Discord can corroborate all of this, right? So it's not like
with
it's
the
not
hammer
like this
thing,
is like.
Massive. It's very clear that he deleted evidence. It's 100% provable and like logged. And you know, Pixie's lawyer team already has like all the info.
But then I would just show that the purpose behind those messages was to obstruct the investigation by deleting them.
Yeah, but like I said, even that itself is a crime.
But it seemed really hard to prove that he deleted the messages with the purpose of obstructing the investigation. Like, no doubt that's why he's done it. But it seemed really hard to actually prove that.
Well, they don't have to.
Fuck, I wish I could actually hear the words you're saying so I could respond, but you're super quiet.
Well, yeah. The thing is, like, maybe sure, and maybe it's really hard to like, to like prove it without a reasonable doubt. But you know, if this went to a jury, right? The jury is the ultimate, you know, determining of fact, right? And if the prosecution or the litigant, the plaintiff, can provide a reasonable story, a convincing story, the jury can say, well, you know, it's not 100%. It's like a 98%. It's not 100%. It's not a yeah, they can say, yeah, it's good enough for me. He did it, and so he's fucked on that.
It's just like watching the Kardashians, lad. That's all it is.
Ah, you sound way better now.
What's it?
You sound better. You sound way better when you lean into your microphone a bit more.
No, I just put a headset and I was using my laptop, mate.
Okay, okay. Nice. I mean, I've still got you up
Yeah, I
at
got you
200.
at 150. You're quiet as fuck.
Yeah, if you want to like go to your user settings and then go to audio, and then crank up your output volume. I feel like if I do this, you'll hear I am louder. And now I'm as loud as possible. And now I'm back to where I was. What a meme, though. Oh, Jesus. Now you're echoing, dude. Guys having trouble.
All right, well, we'll talk to you later, guys.
Alright. Thanks for coming in, dude.
So yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm watching the Destiny manifesto right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty short. Pretty.
It's a lot of rehashing. 1 hour
yeah,
right now.
Yeah, just like is what it is.
Is this still echoing?
What's that? Are you still quiet? You are still pretty quiet.
It's still quiet.
Yeah, I feel like you just need to get a microphone right next to your mouth. I'm gonna end my stream anyway. Thanks for showing up for a secondary stream, dudes, but I need to go have a shower and chill out. I already streamed like 9 hours today, and then we just did, what was it? I forgot where to look to see how long I've been streaming. Oh, there it is. Another 2 hours. So, thanks for showing up, everyone. Pumping up my average viewer numbers. Very cool. We get in there, we gotta make it. Good night, everybody. Peace.